You've been in the new apartment for 4 months when you notice the car, dark blue, parked across the street. Different plates every 3 days, but the same small crack in the left headlight. You don't say anything. You make coffee. You go to work. You tell yourself you're being paranoid. That's what people who escaped do. They see ghosts in every shadow. The problem is, sometimes, the ghost is real. You grew up in Plodi, a town of 3,800 people in the mountains of Calabria. Southern Italy, where the Wi-Fi is bad, the roads are worse, and every family has a second set of books nobody talks about. Your father ran a construction company. Good work, honest prices. That's what your mother told you when you were 9. By the time you were 14, you understood that the contracts came before the bidding process, and the payments arrived in cash before the concrete was poured. In Plodi, that's not corruption. That's Tuesday. The Ndrangheta doesn't recruit you the way you see in movies. There's no ceremony. No oath spoken over a gun and a holy card. Not at first. It starts with small things. You carry a message to a man in the next village. You hold a bag for 20 minutes outside a bar while someone has a conversation inside. You do these things because your uncle asks you to. And in your family, you don't say no to your uncle. Nobody does. By the time you're 22, you're not carrying messages anymore. You're moving money. Small amounts through real businesses. A restaurant invoice here. A building materials receipt there. The operation moves roughly 4 million euros a year through legitimate fronts in 3 countries. You know this because you help maintain the paperwork. You're good with numbers. Your uncle noticed that when you were 16, you tell yourself you'll stop when you save enough. Then you tell yourself you'll stop when things calm down. You tell yourself this for 4 years. Things don't calm down, they scale up. The Ndrangheta controls 80% of Europe's cocaine supply. The organization operates across 84 countries. The annual revenue investigators estimate runs somewhere between 50 billion euros and 60 billion euros. You know this, not because you read it somewhere. You know this because you saw the spreadsheets. The moment you decide to leave isn't dramatic. There's no confrontation, no Fennel straw. You re-sitting in a car outside a port in Toro, watching a shipping container get unloaded at 3 in the morning, and you realize you can't remember the last time you slept without checking the locks twice. You're 26 years old, and you already move like an old man afraid of his own address. You contact the DIA, Italy's anti-mafia directorate. It takes 3 attempts through 3 different back channels before someone calls you back. The agent's name is Moretti. She sounds younger than you expected. She tells you the process takes time. That testimony is dangerous. That protection is real, but not perfect. You ask her what not perfect means. She pauses for exactly 1 second longer than she should. You notice that pause, you cooperate for 8 months. Names, account numbers, front company structures, port contacts. You give them everything stored in your head. They arrest 11 people. 3 are your relatives. Your uncle is not among them. That should feel like luck. It doesn't. They relocate you to a mid-sized city in the north. New name, new apartment, new job at a logistics company that doesn't know what you used to move. The DA checks in every 60 days. Agent Moretti asks the same questions in the same order. You answer them the same way. You are building a life the way you'd build something, from salvaged materials carefully, without trusting the structure too much. The car disappears after 3 weeks. Different car appears 6 weeks later. Same behavior, different plates, no crack in the headlight this time. You mention it to Moretti at the next check-in. She writes something down. She tells you she look into it. She uses the same tone a doctor uses when they don't want to tell you something in the room. You make coffee when you get home. You check the locks. You sit at the kitchen table and think about Plodi, about your uncle, about the contracts that came before the bidding and the payments that arrived in cash, about how in that world nobody ever actually leaves. They just get moved somewhere easier to watch. This story is fiction, but the Ndrangheta is not. Interpol classifies it as the most powerful criminal organization on Earth. Its members live in your city, manage your building permits, and move your freight. The ones who try to walk away rarely make headlines. That's not because nothing happens to them. It's because the Ndrangheta is very good at being quiet. Drop a comment if this one stayed with you. Subscribe. Next one is already coming.